everybody. We're the Good Doctors of Abbey Research. I'm Dr. Erin.
I am Dr. Kristen.
Welcome to our Good Doctors Diagnose for the 1st of February, 2021. We survived January, everybody.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, all of us that did. Just a quick update on our Good Doctors Diagnose. We're changing the format going forward. We will always be together, as is our true wish, on these videos. No more individual ones, and we're only going to be doing them on Mondays and making them a little bit longer and more in-depth conversations, because those are the ones that really seem like they resonate with people. And we're, producing a lot of video content. So on all kinds of other streams and conversations. So we've got lots more exciting stuff coming, way more book reviews, and really interesting discussions. So we do hope that you'll stick around for whatever tickles your fancy, whether it be Bridgerton or white feminism or our Good Doctors Diagnose. We run the gamut. So for today's GDD, we are going to talk about the idea of unity, which has been used a lot lately, specifically in the country in which we live, the United States, in the last month. The concept of unity, what it means, how it does and doesn't work, and a little bit about empathy and inclusivity and how they fit in with this idea of unity, and what it means to really be all of those things and live all of those things, because those are very significant guiding principles for the speaking and educating that we do through our work at Abbey Research. And since everyone's on the unity discussion train, we thought we'd hop along and share our thoughts and feelings.
Unity isn't something that occurs because we said it a whole lot.
What?
And I love the emphasis on unity in theory, and in practice, I loathe it. Because to me, it's skipping like steps of like saying that we need unity is coming in on point F.
Yeah.
And we forgot to cover A, B, C, D, and E.
Yeah.
And A, B, C, D, and E are a whole lot of the hard work. It's really easy to stand up in front of people like the president did on his inauguration day and say, it's time to be unified. Cool. Yep. What the heck does that mean? Because what people also need to do is take accountability for their actions. Mm-hmm. We also need to apologize when we're wrong. We also need to understand that there are people that cannot be in a relationship with each other. And for any number of reasons that are valid and invalid, it doesn't matter. But expecting everybody to reenact Hands Across America from the 1970s and hold hands and sing Kumbaya is much more damaging than anything else. And we've tried to do it before, and that's what gets me. We've been having this conversation about national unity since 1776, and we've been having it with the same words, and we haven't gotten any different results. And it's because we've never acknowledged that sometimes you have to stand up and say, you know what, I was wrong, or I very much disagree with you, and I cannot do life with you, or I very much disagree with you and I can do life with you. Like, there are shades of this, and just standing up in front of people and calling for unity, whether it be in an organization, a family, or a country, is not productive without the other steps first.
Yeah. And I think that's so important. And, in terms of our country, we've never really been unified too. And so there's a mythology to this idea of unity that skips all of those steps and negates the inherent diversity of experiences and opinions, whether you're talking about the United States or you're talking about John Deere Corporation or, your local company. So you have to be able to recognize yourself and think about yourself and think about others. And so for us, a key step in moving towards any sort of unification is building empathy.
Mm-hmm. When you study organizational theory the way that we do, which is hopefully one of the reasons you're here, is that we bring that kind of thing to you. When organizations have been through trauma, which arguably everyone is constantly in trauma, but that's a separate video. But when an organization has been in excessive trauma, the new leader that comes in has a bunch of choices. But the way that is statistically proven moving forward to be the healthiest one is the leader that stands up and acknowledges that things were messy. Mm-hmm. Is the leader that listens to as many people as possible. Whether you take their advice into account or not, people want to be heard. most humans can accept that their ideas may not be perfect. I've never met a single person that doesn't want their idea to be heard.
Yeah.
I'm sure they exist. Statistics tell me they are, but I've never met one. I've met a lot of people that just want to say their idea and then have somebody go, I'll take it under advisement, and actually mean it. And then they're happy to move on with their day. Organizations that have been through trauma where the leader comes in, pastes on a happy face and says, okay, well, that was a problem, but now we're all one big happy family. I will bet you all $72.65 in my bank account right now that they will fail, that there will be trauma again, that the same conversations will happen, because progress never happens without an honest accounting of where we are and where we've been.
And how we got there. Yeah.
So organizationally, if you are in an organization that is calling a lot for unity, we would deeply encourage you to pause and ask what they mean by unity. If you are a leader who is calling for unity, we would ask you to consider a different word. Because really what you're saying is that we actually don't think you're calling for unity. Unless what you're calling for is shoving everything under the rug, and then that's your call, but we don't think it's productive. If you want an actually productive conversation with a whole lot of disparate people, because every single organization, community, human being is diverse. Diversity is not something that we achieve. Diversity is something we are. If you want to embrace the diversity that is your organization and figure out how a lot of disparate folks can work together and live together, what you're calling for isn't unity. What you're calling for is inclusivity. What you're calling for is community. What you're calling for are these very difficult concepts that are deadly simple and very hard to enact. But
go ahead.
I just don't see any other option. Every time somebody says unity, my blood starts to itch.
Yeah. And I think, that's inclusivity goes hand in hand with empathy, right?
Yeah.
And we use the word inclusive a lot. We talk about D&I initiatives and programs all the time. And it's becoming so much that we're talking about it too much without thinking about what it means.
Yeah.
And as our role as educators and social scientists, we kind of exist to unpack these ideas. That's literally what we've been trained to do, and to ask these critical questions. And so if you're talking about unity, we suggest that you're talking about inclusivity. And if you're talking about either of those, really think about what inclusivity means and how you're going to do it, because all of this is hard work. Real empathy and real inclusivity authentically is very hard work.
Yep.
And a lot of times we don't understand that, or we don't want to understand that, because it looks really nice to paper over things with slogans and banners and ideas, and symbolic gestures that don't get to the grassroots level of the work that we need to do. So we also exist to tell you that all of these things are fantastic, but you have to be willing to do the work. And if you aren't, then you're gonna fail and create lasting trauma and conflict wherever you are trying to build these lofty ideas.
Things don't tend to come into reality just because we say them a whole lot. Like, the world isn't Beetlejuice. And so we have to do the work to get there.
Sadly, I wish we could just say the word unity over and over again and it would actually unify us, but that's not how it works.
No, and I'm tired of pretending otherwise. I don't know about you guys, but I've watched too many companies fall apart. I've watched too many families fall apart, too many marriages. I've seen too many friends go through trauma on the idea that everything should happen without hard work, emotional hard work, and emotional empathy, and incredible empathy, and the way we kind of get there. So everyone had watchwords for 2021, or you have goals, or you have anything else. The one for Abby Research, you'll hear it over and over again, and you already have, is empathy. But we don't know how we exist in a world and how we, in good conscience, build relationships with you guys and interact with you guys who's ever watching this, and the kind of lovely community we're starting to build here on YouTube with people that have watched us in a whole lot of things and spent time with us and talked back, which we love. Without beating the drum of the most important thing that we can all do is to cultivate empathy. It's an ongoing journey. It's understanding that we are not the only definition of life. And we've got to keep going. So you'll hear about it a lot. We'll be talking about it a lot, but what we really want to do is talk about it with people a lot too. So you'll see, like Dr. Aaron already said, Good Doctors Diagnose is going to look different. And so there's a whole lot of other things on this channel as we figure out ways to cultivate conversations about empathy.
That is our Good Doctors Diagnose for the first Monday in February. We don't know what we'll be talking about with you guys next week, but we're excited to do it and we hope you join us. Have a wonderful week wherever you are in the world, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.